So Pisces, welcome to Sun and New Moon in your sign, which is the full light and the full dark is with you so that you can really truly empower yourself, because that's the path of development, right? The path out of the subconscious up here into the mountains, past the evolution of the wolf into the dog, and the two towers, the right and the left, the inhale and the exhale, up this path to a higher consciousness. And so today you will have a glimpse into what it means to be truly empowered on both sides, on the perspective of the light and the perspective of the dark. The yoga position that I gave you is of course fish pose and the downward and upward facing dog. So here we see the evolution looking into the left spinning path, and here in the downward facing dog we are facing the human path, but nevertheless the face knows about the left spinning path. And so the right and left spinning path that I'm doing here in these readings is about the earth spinning itself around its own axis every 24 hours and spinning around the sun also to the right in 365 days. That's your reading that you're getting every month. And then once a year you get a full moon reading, which has to do with this spin to the left. Here the earth takes 25,800 years to complete this wobble, and we divide that through the 12 zodiac signs, and then we get an age. And currently we are in the age of Pisces, moving though into the age of Aquarius, because it's left spinning. And so you are being pushed to stand again in your element, which is the subconscious. You have learned for 2,150 years everything there is to learn, and now it's time to implement it. It's time to live it. And so coming back to your last reading, where you had the Aquarius sun highlighting the Pisces moon, and the message was, show the world what it feels like to be an age for 2,150 years. And that's the power that came to you as the wild woman, the eagle, and the magician. And it's very clear that you recognized that the Aquarius sun was letting you know you've been now for 2,150 years in the age of Pisces, and we're still in this overlapping. It's not 100% yet the age of Aquarius, but nevertheless we can see how the technology is actually revolutionizing the end of your era, which is the movies, right? The movies is capturing the dreams, is capturing all our stories, all this magical energy that we as a visionary or as a mystic or as a guru or as a medium are able now to bring to this world so that it can change. You are the Knight of Cups. If your birthday is between February 8th and March 11th, this is your court card. So see if you recognize yourself in this. If not, look in the description below. I have listed all the court cards there. Maybe you are a little bit more the King of Swords, or maybe the Queen of Wands. But here the Piscean energy in general is love, the path of love. He is holding the Holy Grail ahead of him in his right hand, and he has here the fish costume on his fabric, and we can recognize the love The path of love gives you wings in your head, in your feet. Whatever you do, you want to love, and that's really something that you bring to us. So let's begin this reading on the position of the Fool. And here I want you to know that the left spinning path, which he is facing, is the path from deep within to the out. And the right spinning path is from the outside to the within. And so this is a state of consciousness that says, what is this crazy idea that's coming up within me? And here are the Four of Swords. And the banner that's holding these four swords together is a bonne droite. And it means when I do good, good comes back. So this is Jupiter in Libra. And usually it is called the meditation or the reclusion card. The card where we go into a retreat. The card where we go into recognizing that I can only find deep within myself peace, a peacefulness. And this is where you get the idea now to really take care of yourself. And it's really interesting because I do first the German reading and now I do the English reading, and today it feels like it's almost like this is the solution, because in the German reading I had the Five of Swords, which is this troubled mind, right? Which is Venus in Aquarius. And so something really disturbed you in the German reading, and now it's the solution is like going deep within, learning to go into meditation, going into reclusion, going, and so your soul is literally telling you to take that step. And then on the position of the Magician comes here the number 54, which is the Sweat Lodge. And that as well is the solution to the card in the German reading. And so I don't know what's happening, but it feels like this is the solution, right? There it said soul retrieval, and here in the Sweat Lodge we do soul retrievals. It's actually then, what can I do to help this state of consciousness to go deeper within, is to go and do a Sweat Lodge. Now the Four is taking responsibility over your mind, over the way you think. And so here comes another Four. And so this is like a 4-4 portal saying, yes, you are responsible for how you feel and how you think and how you then act, because the magician is the inspiration that we get, and he says, okay, let me take action, and he takes action. So then the 5 becomes this deeper understanding of why tests are in general here, so that I can become more responsible, that I can grow, that I can evolve. And the 5 is always the knowledge that we gain when we study any spiritual scriptures, right? And so the Sweat Lodge, it's not reading about the scriptures, it's actually becoming or living the scriptures. And so here you are called to go deep within yourself in the new moon, and see in the new moon that you are actually also in the light, that you are in the sun as well, and recognize that then through that lesson. On the position then of the High Priestess, which is your intuition. Your intuition is letting you know that the 8 of Cups is Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn is the teacher. Saturn is the one that is letting you know, now it's time to understand, you gotta go, you gotta leave something, you gotta make this step, you gotta take that move. And you are going deep within, but then what are you gonna do afterwards when you come out of the Sweat Lodge? You gotta let go of something that doesn't work, because you only have 2 cups that are getting fulfilled. The other 6 here are standing empty. And it's almost creating a barrier to the upper world and a barrier to the lower world. And so the only 2 cups that are actually really getting water or are flowing are then the black and the white pillar, are the dualities that bring us constantly into our center. So you're learning to become intuitive in letting go the things that don't work for you anymore. So you are moving ahead and you're moving on. And on the position then of the Empress comes here le jugement, the judgment, the card number 20, and the 2 cups that are left here with the water flowing are now just simply left, are the 2 pillars, are the dualities, and the Empress is telling you now you have achieved and accomplished something, because the 20, it's almost like it's that new age that is now coming, and you're learning to let go of not being anymore an age, of not being anymore in the center. It's difficult, right? Because it's like, okay, now it really is happening. I recognize that Aquarius is coming, and I am going back into my home, into my sign. And so here you are, seeing the new zeitgeist, seeing the new aeon, seeing that something is really deeply shifting and that you are awakening to that realization. And then comes you, who is walking away with that in your head. That realization is now giving you the wings to still continue to walk the path of love. That's what it's all about. No matter what, we walk the path of love, and you are going into the right spinning path. You have realized this from deep within, and now you go and bring it out to the world, right? You want to live that inspiration, and you go and take that step forward. Then on the position of the Wheel of Fortune comes the number 37, no rain today. And this is the quiz of life. This is the moment where you recognize there is no luck. There is just a moment of recognizing that tests are here to make us stronger, to bring responsibility to our actions. And here in the 9 as the calculating together the 5 and the 4, you ending up in a completion. You're ending up to say, well, then I'm gonna walk to the 9, because the 8 is the card where you walking actively to the number 9, to that realization that you have found here deep in the sweat lodge, deep in the new moon in your sign. And then that's why you got the 20. You actually stepped up immediately to the 2 and the 0, and you recognized that you have awakened, and then you can look over and be like, well, I'm also the sun now for a whole month. I am still the age of Pisces, but it's leaving. It's slowly leaving, and that's why a little bit of tears are coming down, and you're recognizing that, you're feeling that, you are being pushed away by technology, but nevertheless, you are very important to us, because the 3 and the 7 then creates a 10, and the 10 is then this new understanding of the 9, which is Virgo. Virgo was in the shadow side of you, right? Virgo was in the shadow side of you. You have been in the sun for 2,150 years, and Virgo was opposite of that and was in the shadow. But you recognize by incorporating Virgo qualities within you knowing your true identity, knowing that you are a soul, knowing that you are a spirit, is bringing you forward into the path of light, the path of love, the path of the number one. And then comes on the position of the Hanged Man, which is that moment of almost enlightening. The yogi standing on his head, comes here the aquamarine, the number 6. Then you are really loving yourself. Then you arriving deep within yourself in that love that is saying that you are getting more and more clarity, that you are having this quiet knowing, and that you recognize and accept the truth that the age of Pisces is slowly waning and leaving, and the age of Aquarius is coming. But you have found a deep and profound love within yourself. That's the 6, that's the hexagram, that's the water and fire united within you, and you have through that really understood something, and so the path continues forward into the Dolphin, which comes on the position of the Tower. The Tower is that moment where we shake off old structures, and that's what's leaving. The age of Pisces is leaving, is shaking off these old structures, and now we want to have fun, now we want to enjoy, now we want to be spiritually light. We don't want to be heavy anymore. We want to be light, we want to be playful, and you recognize that the dolphin is in the water, which you are, right? Pisces in the water. And so here you are, awakening to a whole new joyousness, a lightness that Aquarius brings to you, because you were heavy. You were like deep, deep in your subconscious, now coming out. And so there is this beauty, there is this fun energy that is speaking to you. And the dolphin is saying intelligence, the healer, the light, and the blessing. The gifts of the dolphin are beyond what our human mind can grasp. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. And that's what it is, right? You see that you have found a deep, profound love for yourself because you've been in the light. And you're still in the light, right? But it's leaving. And you're recognizing now, yes, let's play, let's have fun. Let's use the age of Aquarius to have really, truly fun. And this is what's going, right? Is this heaviness. It's that sometimes that deep subconscious heaviness. And then comes on your position the 5 of Wands. And 5 of Wands is Saturn in Leo. And so the 5 is always a test, but this test can be quite successful. This test is saying, well, recognize that the 5 that you took care of here is now giving you the power to really have a fair game with yourself, with that which you have learned, and bring it into the world and live it and be it. And it's always that central wand that is bringing the other 4 wands into a pattern that is actually beautiful, that you recognize now, okay, I am really ready to test the strength and the meditation that I learned and the deep knowing that I found here in being the 9, and that I emotionally walked away from the 8, from something good, but I walk into the 9, into the self-love, into that which makes me really grow up. And then there I recognize that I have everything I need, because the 3 is the Empress, and that's where the Judgment came up, and the 7 is the success, a deep success that comes with the sun, right, with the summer. And the aquamarine, again, the 6, that says, yes, you know who you are now. That's why you can play, and that's why you can play with this kind of action, right? Because Saturn is the teacher. Remember, Saturn is the Saturn here in Pisces. So this heaviness becomes now a playfulness, right? That heaviness that you left becomes finally a playfulness, and you're excited to play and to enjoy yourself. And then comes on the position again of the moon. Here both cards are connected with the moon, but this is an oracle, so I want to actually give you also a tarot card, and I choose the Marseille tarot, right? Because there is the ocean, the French, the Atlantic, and the Mediterranean Ocean. So here you are, feeling with this 36 a little bit lost in space and needing direction. So this newfound freedom kind of maybe brings in you the feeling of like, okay, what am I going to do with all of this, right? Because if I calculate now the 36 together, it's a 9. And so what am I doing? And so I'm a little lost, just a little lost, because the 9 is still then as a solution that I find myself, the deeper I look from within, the more I evolve, the more I come out. Yes, when I come out first, I'm like, what am I doing here on land? Then I evolved here, but now what am I doing when I evolve up higher into the sky where the star is? We're evolving up into the sky. Naturally, the age of Aquarius is bringing us up into the sky. We want to know what's out there. Are there other planets that we're looking for? And maybe you are part of those people who are actually searching for a new planet Earth, right? Because the 3 gives birth then to this love, and then the 9 as that new identity that you can take on. And then on the position of the sun, which is also in your sign, right, comes then the deep understanding that the number 1, the north, when we go up into the sky, when we go out and we recognize and understand what is out there, right? Because you have come out of the water, of the deep waters. There is not much more to discover deep in the waters. We go out into the air. We want to come out. And here you are standing all alone, and you know that you have now a new compass, that the sun, that this month you're getting help from the sun to navigate yourself, to find in the dark the light, to expand, and to find in the north the new way of direction, finding your direction through the north. And then on the position of the last judgment, which you got on the position of the Empress, comes here this curtain that is opening, and it's saying push. So you push through a last moment that the new zeitgeist is coming to you, and that you are recognizing this growth cycle within you, deep within you, that you have already felt on the position of the Empress, that something new is calling you, and that you are pushing through. And it's saying, don't feel inadequate, right? Don't feel lost, don't feel inadequate. Forget how to quit, push on no matter how things look. The number 2, which is then creating with this a 2-2 portal. And the 2-2 portal is saying, you can do this. because these two will always remain. There will always be flowing water in those two cups, in the dualities. Through the intuitions you learn that now you can push through, and that you can open a portal, and that the portal is opening into a soul energy because she's facing the soul cycle. And here you recognizing that something really important is happening to you, that you learning to get through this time, because now you have 1 month sun, and today and tomorrow moon in your sign, and you're gonna recognize something very profound, because then comes on the world Libra, the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is the one that brings Jupiter in Libra to you. The Four of Swords, she is the one that is helping you to calm yourself. She's facing the left spinning cycle, so she knows about that you're going through a really deep soul shift. In the sweat lodge it already happened, right? The four, so you have 1, 2, 2 times the 4, right? And the spiritual recognition of the Queen of Swords, which understands the age of Pisces, because she's also an air sign, right? She can connect with, and so she can help you. If you have a friend that can help you now to see that the earth is shifting, that the earth is facing to the sun, right? The earth does the wobble, and then she will be in that left spinning wobble 2150 years in the age of Aquarius. And the Libra energy is bringing that to you, because here Jupiter is the wheel of fortune, which brought you no rain today, right? That you have been in the light, and now she's like saying, okay, slowly you have to go back into the dark, you have to be back in the moon and see the cycles, and that you bring very important energy to us. And so recognize again deep within that you have to go back into being really the moon, and that you're getting out of the sun, and that is a natural cycle. And it's a big one, of course, because after 2150 years, and it was they show the world what it feels like to be an age for 2150 years. And now she is helping you to push, right, to not to feel inadequate, to not quit, to push on no matter how things look, right? She's here to help you. She's here to give you that push, that new zeitgeist is coming, and that Aquarius is opening up the curtain and saying, here I am. Now we're going up into the sky. Now we're going up into the north. Now we're evolving. And yes, you might feel a little lost at first, but don't worry. It's gonna leave and you're gonna feel again good. Wow, what an amazing message. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because then the earth spins in such a way that we see then behind the sun the constellation Aries. And Aries is the number 4, right? So taking responsibility for the way you think is very important in the age of Aquarius. And so Aries is going to help you with that. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. I wish you a beautiful new moon meditation. Namaste.